Batman the Imposter #1 Preview. What if Batman existed in the real world? That's the concept behind the upcoming mature readers DC series Batman the Imposter. Consider this an unofficial prequel to Matt Reeves' upcoming The Batman film, as Batman the Imposter is written by the co-writer of the film, Mattson Tomlin. As a lifelong Batman fan, putting my spin on Gotham City has been a dream come true, Tomlin said when Batman the Imposter was announced. Taking the question of what if Batman was real, as far as narratively possible, conjured incredible potential that hasn't recently been explored in the comics. Some will remember previous Batman storylines that aimed for a more realistic approach to DC's Dark Knight, such as Batman, Earth 1, Gotham Central, and the Year 1 Batman arc, but Tomlin appears to be aiming for something more with Batman, the Imposter. Batman the Imposter treats Bruce Wayne and the people around him as tragically flawed and vividly real, with the obstacles Batman faces coming from a reality that closely mirrors our own, Tomlin continued. According to DC's description of the series, we can consider Batman the Imposter as a new Batman Year 2 for the Dark Knight. It takes place just as the vigilante has become known in the city, and is known enough to be considered a bad element by those on both sides of the law. At the same time, a Batman doppelganger has emerged in the city, but without the Dark Knight's hesitation to kill whoever he views as criminals. In Batman the Imposter, he must put a stop to this other Batman, while also clearing his name and staying out of the crosshairs of the Gotham power brokers. Writer Tom Taylor is bringing Marvel Comics to the Dark Ages, and now over at DC he and artist Yasmin Putri are taking the Justice League to medieval times in the fantasy-fueled 12-issue series. Set in a world of knights, wizards, monarchs, and castles, Dark Knights of Steel will turn the high fantasy-fueled trappings of its setting on their heads when Superman's Kryptonian spacecraft lands on a doomed planet in a medieval setting rather than the modern era. Taylor has made a career of writing alt-realities and out-of-continuity stories, including his breakout run on DC's Injustice as well as the publisher's zombie-fueled Deceased. As mentioned, he's writing another alt-reality story for Marvel Comics titled Dark Ages, which, despite the title which evokes a medieval theme, actually shows a version of the Marvel Universe where technology and electronics are suddenly rendered inert. Combining DC superheroes and high fantasy is a dream come true, says Taylor of Dark Knights of Steel. I grew up reading Lord of the Rings alongside Superman, Terry Pratchett alongside Garth Ennis, Robin Hobb and Mark Waid, Dragonlance and Justice League. Now, I get to bring all this together with the incredible Yasmin Putri, in the biggest story I could imagine. A tale of war and love, of despair and hope, of betrayal and improbable alliances forged in battle. A story where we take heroes we know so well and see them in a way never seen before. Taylor goes on to say the series will present all new origins for Superman, Constantine, Harley Quinn, and Black Lightning, and also includes new romances, new friendships, and shocking twists that start with the opening pages. This is for the fans of Game of Thrones and Critical Role, continues Taylor. This is for the kids who took dice to school and dreamed of flying in a cape, for the kids who chose their own adventure. This is the birth of a new DC universe. This is Dark Knights of Steel. X-Men #4 Preview. October 13's X-Men #4 will be a very special Halloween-themed installment of Marvel's mutant flagship title. From the looks of the preview, it's a bit of a haunted house tale, with the house being the X-Men's newly created New York City headquarters, the Treehouse in Seneca Gardens. It all starts with some bad dreams for Cyclops and Jean Grey, and then a surprise Marvel villain appears, back from the dead and a 2-year absence. That's Nightmare. X-Men #4 will be his apparent return from the dead, as he definitively died in 2019's Loki #4, losing a bet with the god of mischief for his immortality, with the comic even showing Nightmare arriving in Marvel's version of the afterlife and a meeting with their top deity, the one above all. Nightmare will apparently be one of two villains returning after a long absence, the other being a literary icon, the Headless Horseman from Washington Irving's 1820 short story The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. That story has been adapted numerous times in film and television, but even comics. In fact, the Headless Horseman has been a Marvel character for almost 70 years. Official description for X-Men number 4. Fearless, Chapter 4. Heads up. It's Halloween and the X-Men have to face a horror born of a neighboring town in Westchester, the Headless Horseman. And that's not the only terror targeting them.